I used to down energy drinks like water. I used to think that the only thing that would help me achieve my goals is to work hard. As long as I work hard, I'll be able to achieve my goals, success, and fulfillment. And this was a principle I lived by when I was studying in high school, college, and less so in my graduate studies when I knew a bit better. I remember back in high school, I would study until 3 a.m. in the morning. My motto was that I would not go to sleep until I studied as much as I could. My environment definitely had something to do with how I thought about things. It was like bragging rights to talk about how much you studied and how little sleep you got. This is definitely something I would not support and encourage, especially based on what we know now. In order to be really productive and do your best, you need sleep in order to recoup that energy. And also, sleeping improves your memory and allows you to retain the information that you learn. Another thing that I thought was right that was totally wrong was that multitasking would allow me to do a lot more things and make me more productive. And boy, was I wrong. When you do multiple things at one time, such as eating, watching TV, and trying to do your homework, you don't do any one of those things well. And when you can focus on one task at a time, you'll actually get it done much more quickly and much more efficiently. Multitasking is actually counterproductive to helping you achieve your goals in anything. What most people don't realize is that context switching actually wastes a lot of your time and energy. For us to be able to focus on one task and then switch to another task, it takes some time to be able to refocus on a new task, depending on how simple or complicated that task is. A lot of what I've learned about focus and achieving bigger, better results and maximizing your productivity is through a book that I read a while ago called The One Thing. It really changed my outlook on approaching all the tasks that I have to get done throughout the day that used to overwhelm me. It also made me realize that I had it all wrong. Instead of working harder, I needed to work smarter. You need to choose things that have high yield and to focus all your energy and power on those things. And is what you're doing producing significant returns? Is it effective? Are you getting good results? These are things that I needed to reflect on, and it made me realize that my previous thinking about hard work and results was completely wrong. There's actually a great diagram in the book about how you can integrate all the different parts of your life to focus on this one thing. Everything in your life, whether it be your spiritual life, your physical health, your personal life, your relationships, your job, your business, and your finances, should be organized around the one thing that helps you achieve your purpose. To be truly successful and fulfilled, figure out what your one thing is. That is the most important thing you want to achieve in your life, and plan your life around it. In this video, I'll share things that I've learned that was inspired by this book that I read, The One Thing, and how to choose what to focus on to get the highest yields and returns on your time and energy. There are 4 things that you need to consider to do this. The first thing is to identify and use your leverage. What I've learned is that the ability to be self-aware and to know what you're good at and what you're not good at is a superpower. Identifying what you can leverage is identifying what is your competitive advantage, what are your strengths, how can you use it to achieve success and fulfillment. Think about what are the leverage points in your life. This comes from the idea that a small shift in one thing can produce big changes in everything. Leverage points are like acupuncture points. Places where a finely tuned strategic intervention is capable of creating lasting change, which can create positive ripple effects that spread far and wide. The second thing to consider is to use the 80-20 principle to take inventory of what is working and what's not working so that you can focus on what's working and maximize your efforts. The 80-20 principle is also known as the Pareto principle, and it was founded by an Italian economist who found that 80% of the peas that were produced in his garden were produced by 20% of his plants. And he also observed this principle elsewhere. He noticed that 80% of the land were owned by 20% of the people. And this can actually be applied elsewhere. In business, people found that 80% of the sales came from 20% of the customers. In investing, 80% of your portfolio growth comes from 20% of your investments in that portfolio. The idea behind this is to find the most efficient way of doing things and to focus on developing them to maximize productivity. Focus on the magic 20% to achieve more with fewer resources. For example, in my investment portfolio, around 20% of my stock picks are contributing to 80% of my growth in that portfolio. I also think this applies to my health and fitness. I was doing a lot of different things in terms of exercises, physical activity, and I didn't notice anything that really made my body change except HIIT, high intensity interval training. These are short workouts, but they were effective. And when I started doing high intensity interval training workouts, that's when I saw the big changes. I actually literally saw changes right before my eyes, and I noticed it in my thighs because realistically, my thighs were the easiest things for me to see and look at. And I noticed that they were getting more well-defined and stronger from doing HIIT workouts. And I had tried all the different workout plans and nothing really did it for me. So now I'm focusing on the high yield workouts that give me the biggest returns in terms of my health and fitness. And this leads into the third thing that I think you need to consider, which is creating good habits by optimizing your mental and physical health. Good habits and discipline are critical to success. The best way to change our emotions and behavior to cater to nurturing good habits and discipline is through optimizing our mental and physical health, which is why nutrition, exercise, meditation, or stress management, sleep are so important to enable and empower you to focus on your one thing. That will give you the best results. The final and probably most important thing that you need to consider is being accountable. And I think this requires a mindset shift for a lot of people. Sometimes it's very easy to get in a negative cycle of negative thoughts, of complaining, and feeling like you're the victim of bad things and bad luck. Shit happens, and that's life. But life is also exciting and full of opportunities, so there's no reason to focus on the bad things. But when they do happen, you can either be the author of your life or the victim of it. And those are your only two choices, being accountable or not. Easier said than done, but that mind shift can easily change your life. And I'm not negating or dismissing the terrible things that happen in our lives, but we have a choice. We dwell or we do something. The one thing helped me get focused on the important things and to get less distracted by the unimportant things. When you do this, you actually find yourself finding more inspiration and purpose, and you don't allow the little things to get to you as much. I hope this gives you some inspiration to figure out what's important and meaningful to you and find ways to focus your time and energy on things that fill you up rather than drain you. Be conscious of your energy. Protect it. Please like and subscribe if you found this content helpful and if you want more content like this. And please feel free to connect with me on Instagram is probably the easiest way at Dr. Lee MD. Let me know in the comments below what your one thing is. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.